Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into a stock market debut that absolutely shattered records. And let me tell you, this is way more than just a financial story. It's really a story about how our world is changing, how it's rearming, and how all of that is fundamentally shifting where the money flows on a global scale. So picture this. It's January 23rd, 2026. Over on the European stock market, a defense company goes public for the first time. But its debut? Well, it isn't just successful. It's a massive event that sends tremors through the worlds of finance and politics, all because it was unlike anything the industry had ever seen. And this number right here? This is why everyone started talking. A 31.4% jump in share price on day one. That's for a company called Czechoslovak Group, or CSG. Now, a surge like that tells you investors are incredibly confident. But the real story isn't just about one good day of trading. The real question is, why did this happen? Right, so who is this company that just made such a huge splash on the public markets? Let's get into it. Okay, so CSG is based in Prague, in the Czech Republic. And, they're no startup. We're talking about a major, established player in the global defense industry. And they've been on an absolute tear, becoming one of the fastest growing firms in the entire sector. So what do they actually make? Well, their business is right at the heart of modern warfare. They build the heavy-duty hardware. We're talking armored vehicles, the ammunition to go with them, and all the complex, advanced tech systems that give a modern military its fighting edge. All right, let's move on because this is where the story gets really compelling. The sheer scale of this stock market launch, honestly, the numbers are just staggering. Through its IPO, CSG raised a massive 3.8 billion euros from investors. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is a huge amount of money for any company's IPO. But for a defense firm's very first day on the market, it's completely unprecedented. And let's just be crystal clear about this. This wasn't just a big IPO. It was the single largest public offering for a defense company in history, period. No other defense contractor has ever raised that much money on day one. When you lay it all out like this, the picture becomes undeniable. You've got the record-breaking amount of money raised, you've got it happening on a major European exchange, and then that massive first-day stock jump. Every single one of these metrics points to the exact same conclusion. The market is incredibly optimistic about this company and really the entire defense sector. But look, a successful IPO is one thing. A record-shattering one, especially in the defense sector, forces us to ask a much bigger question. Why is there such a huge appetite for a company like this, right at this moment? Well, the answer isn't on a stock chart. It's out there in the world of geopolitics. So what's really happening in the world to create this kind of frenzy from investors? What has fundamentally changed to make a company that builds tanks and sells ammunition one of the hottest investments you can make? Well, analysts are basically pointing to a perfect storm of global events. First, and this is the big one, the war in Ukraine has created this massive, ongoing demand for military gear. Second, there's a growing feeling in Europe that it can't just rely on the US for its security anymore. And third, because of all this, a flood of money, both from governments and private investors, is pouring into building up Europe's military capabilities. And look, the company itself isn't being shy about its role in all this. The chairman of CSG, Michel Straude, came right out and said their mission is to be a critical, long-term supplier to NATO countries. They're directly linking their business strategy to what's happening in the world right now. Okay, so let's zoom out, because when you connect these incredible IPO numbers to the current geopolitical climate, you start to see that this isn't just about one company's success story. It's a sign of something much bigger on the horizon. Yeah, this isn't seen as some short-term blip. Market strategists are actually calling this a mega trend. The basic idea is that the huge geopolitical shifts we're seeing today, they aren't going away anytime soon. And that means the massive flow of capital into the defense industry is probably here to stay for the long haul. And this, right here, is what it all boils down to. One company's record-breaking IPO is really just a symptom of a much deeper change. The worries of world leaders, the fears of nations, the strategic plans of generals. All of that is now directly telling billions of euros where to go in the global financial markets. So this all leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. As we watch the lines between national security and the global economy get blurrier and blurrier, this crazy IPO forces us to ask a really big question. In a world that's busy rearming itself, Is the business of defense becoming the most influential and maybe the most essential business of all?